Hello.
Hi there.
Hi.
Speaker view.
Nice to see
Oh, nice to see you too.
you.
So I recorded chapter 7.
Oh.
And yeah, I shared the audio. I just did audio and passed it to you over Facebook.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, so it's 24 minutes.
Okay, wonderful. Great.
And I tried to, I mean, I went at the pace I went, but tried to just really say one line at a time. You know? Yeah.
I'd say you're probably better at that than I am.
Oh, I think Abba brings a little extra magic, but I'm not comparing. Here, the smoke has been so bad we haven't really been able to go outside.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks, and I've discovered what the air quality index really is, and it really says, don't do any outdoor exertion.
Okay. But the air from outdoor goes indoors too, no?
We are keeping everything closed and running the indoor air filter and circling the forced air through the ducting in the house. And I've only,
Are you feeling okay with the kind of air?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the body misses exercise, but the three of us are doing okay. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I thought we might just discuss a couple of verses of chapter 7. So I'm as I was, it was kind of funny listening back to my recording. I mean, it's it's a little uncomfortable hearing myself, but needed to do a little editing because some verses I just said them so poorly I had to I just stopped and redid them, but it was very rare. But I was towards the end at at verse 27 and then 32, 33, 35. So here's 27. Chapter 7, verse 27. And he says, all thoughts of dyads of opposites are indeed unreal. All duality is indeed unreal. The bondage-ridden body and such are indeed unreal. Various kinds of beings are indeed unreal. The experiences of the mind are indeed unreal. All results of actions are indeed unreal. I am the endless supreme Brahman. This I am Brahman's certitude is itself the rare Homa. There's a lot that's unreal here. Here's 32. Son, all intrinsic meaning is unreal. All extrinsic explanation is also unreal. You, who are devoted, are also, indeed, unreal. I, who am expounding, am also, indeed, unreal. All others are also unreal indeed. The expanse of the world and individuals is indeed unreal. I am myself, the non-dual Brahman. This I am Brahman certitude is itself the rare Homa. And then 33, the I am Brahman certitude is the purificatory bath. The I am Brahman certitude is the mantra. The I am Brahman certitude is the arpana, the libation with water. The I am Brahman certitude is the homa, oblation in fire. Son, the I am Brahman certitude is the all prescribed duties. Hence, the seeker after liberation should daily, incessantly practice the I am Brahman certitude. So Nadaga is asking Ribhu, what about air, water, and fire? These things I'm in touch with every day. And Ribhu's saying certitude.
Just like over and over and over again. It's just like nothing is real, isn't it? There's nothing. Like, even like he says, I don't know what you said there exactly, but he's basically said even the I expounding this, I'm not real. I think I can't remember exactly what it was. Like nothing. It's only Brahman, and just be sure of this. That, like when I hear that, I feel like it's just like just be empty. Another way of saying it. And that just means don't do anything. Like we're naturally empty. And we keep picking things up again. Keep picking up ideas and filling up our minds with all kinds of things. And it's okay, it's okay if that happens, but it's just like any time that we notice, we can just be sure again. It's like I was talking with my partner today about practice. They all different spiritual traditions talk about practice this and practice that. So in a way, this is a practice, is a like it's that I am Brahman certitude. But you're still doing something, and in a way, I feel like if you're seemingly born into the world, like we actually do need a practice, because I feel like a part of me has always been saying, no, I've never really been into practice. A practice as such, like sitting down at the same time every day and being like really disciplined in like a practice, like that. But actually, there is a practice, and like the words that just came out from here, and I just like obviously because they came out of my mouth, I could connect with them more than hearing it from somewhere else. And it was just like that. A practice is really just focusing your attention and your energy, because if we don't focus our attention and energy, the nature of the mind is to just be completely scattered, and we'll naturally in a way like just go with everything, and we're just kind of you just go with this thought, look at that, I'll go with this thought, up, down, around. So actually we really do need a practice, and in a way it doesn't really matter what the practice is, it, like people will say one practice is better than another. They might say my practice is better than your practice. But like just our practice, and in this case, and our case that we're talking about, the practice is just like to be sure of Brahman is all there is. I am that. Just that's it. That's all there is. That I am Brahman certitude. And you can't really be sure as an idea, because if it's an idea, we're not ever sure about an idea. Like if you could, if it's just an idea, you could be saying like I'm a carpet. Just a random analogy. I'm a carpet or I'm a shelf or something. It doesn't mean anything, you know. So it's the same way I am Brahman. If you just take it as an idea, it's kind of meaningless and it's not really going to do anything. It has to, like, to actually be really sure, to to know something, you have to also feel it and experience it as well at the same time, not just like words that have no meaning in your heart. Um, and I suppose like Ramana Maharshi has come to mind, like his main teaching was like, who am I? You know, so like when you actually question and look within yourself for who am I, not just as an answer in words or answer from your mind, but actually like experience and in a way see more experience, I suppose. Like you feel who you are, and feeling and seeing is like the same. Maybe feeling and seeing and knowing, like knowing in a different way than knowing with your mind. Like they're all the same, and that's the I am Brahman certitude. And I feel like that's the only way you can actually practice like the I am Brahman certitude, is that you actually know, like you actually know and you actually see. And it doesn't matter if you get pulled, like seemingly get pulled out of that, because that's why we need to practice it. Because we do get pulled out of it. If you never got pulled out of it, there'd be no need for any kind of practice. But probably as long as we have a body, the somehow like the essence of a practice might need to be there. Like because there's always the potential that mind activity could start or something. So you can always just have that practice of I am Brahman certitude. And it doesn't even have to
Does,
have those words necessarily. You know, like when we're reading this, it has those words, but sometimes you might be practicing it in a wordless way. And even the question, who am I? Like in the beginning, it might be you might use the words who am I, and then kind of look, and then feel like I am. But like then in a certain time, it can also be that you're actually in a way asking who am I, but without the words. Or maybe you're not somehow in your, but you're not really asking, but maybe in some way you're kind of asking, but without the words. Like you're wordlessly asking and answering in the same moment. You're just recognizing, I suppose. And it's kind of the same thing. In a way, it's like you could be like checking, or not even really checking, but just confirming, I suppose. Same, it's just like different words. Like you're confirming or having the certitude. It's kind of the same thing. Isn't it? When you're confirming, you're like, yeah, still, Brahman is all there is. Very sure. Can't find anything else here.
somehow it's the silent, empty, spacious nothing that comes after
Yeah,
that seems to be the destination, if I can call it that.
yeah, yeah. I feel like it can seem like that, and it is like the often you hear teachers saying that like the space in between the thoughts,
Mm.
or maybe the space in between words. But somehow I feel like there's the kind of urge in us to find it everywhere, not just in the space between thoughts and the space between words, or in the times when we're sitting quietly, but also to find it right in the middle of action, even if it's a
Mm.
very fast action, and right in the middle of any kind of circumstance, and right in the middle of hearing somebody talking, no matter what they're talking about. They could be talking about walking their dog, but you're recognizing that it's coming from emptiness, and that's actually is like it's emptiness moving in a way, or
Mm.
it's Brahman. Like, so in a way that we want to recognize it. I feel like there's an urge in us that wants to have that I am Brahman certitude everywhere. Like it wants to have it, yeah, like literally everywhere. So it's not just that like I like in here, but it's like also like I like everything that you experience, everything that you're seeing, like you really experience it like that I am Brahman, like everything you're seeing, experience and feeling. So it just becomes like completely permeated. And at least it feels like here that that like urge is there, and like there's not going to be, it's just like the urge is to keep going, kind of. You're, it's almost like you're kind of going towards it, or like you're permeating yourself, or something like that, you know. I don't know exactly how to say it, but I feel like the urge is, you know, like I feel like the words or what the memory that's coming is like, sometimes I listen to Ajay Shanti talking and he calls it like a spiritual instinct. Like we all have a spiritual instinct towards something. So I kind of feel, I suppose I'm just like feeling that today. You know that you have different days that you feel different things, and different things become more in your consciousness. But yeah, it feels like that here, like now today, that like we want to see that I am Brahman certitude all the time, like unbrokenly. Is that a real word? Unbrokenly.
Is
Oh,
now.
yeah. Not sure it's a real word. And like experientially, not just because you have to, like, we're not going to be really satisfied if we just kind of feel like we know it or like we understand it, you know, because that's like one level. You can understand it, but I don't know, it feels like love itself wants to, and to experience it really means to be it. Like there's literally no space. So like that we say we find a space, you know, in between two things, but like we don't want a space in between two things because then there's two things in a space. It's like it's like I feel like a true urge in a small, it's just like that there's not one thing and another thing in a space. It's just like they're all the same thing. There's not even a space in between thoughts or a space in between sounds. It's like there's like really like no differentiation between anything in a way. I seem to say that a lot. I notice myself I'm talking and like it might sound like it can sound like a really like nice thing, nice listening, and then I just thought I don't know. It's really quite funny. Especially I hear myself saying it when I'm talking to you. I would say all these things and then I'm like, well, I don't know. Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
How about another?
Mhm.
Um, oh, I think you're going to like this one.
Mhm.
That in which all the world arises and dissolves, by which are revealed the various luminaries, like the shining sun, moon, fire, stars, and lightning, but which cannot be revealed by them, in awe of which the gods and demons perform their respective actions. Upon this nature of pure knowledge, the Supreme Shiva, you should meditate, eschewing all transient objects of perception.
How do you think you meditate on something that's not a thing? You know, if you're meditating on something that's a thing, you can think about it. You know, like if you were to meditate on, even like meditate on your breath or something, you can kind of, it's an object, so you can focus on. Or if you were to meditate on an idol, like I have a picture of it. Someone might meditate on something like this. You know, what do you call that?
Mandala.
Mandala. Yeah, so you might meditate on a mandala. That's like an object, so you can kind of visualize it. So how do you think you meditate on something that's objectless?
Good luck.
So in a way, yeah, good luck. In a way, it's like the only way to do that is to kind of stop doing anything and to, in a way, not. This isn't really the right words, but I'm just gonna say them. Not kind of allow your mind to engage with any object. Maybe it's to not. So even if your mind is producing objects, you're not giving your attention to your mind. You can actually be aware of all objects or any object, and at the same time there's like a deeper sense of you can place your attention on where the object is arising within. Like I think that exactly said that. So in a way it's like you just kind of don't do anything. Like you actually to meditate upon that which is like devoid of all of everything. You just like be, literally just be, and notice yourself being, and that's it.
Yeah,
That's meditating.
this reminds me of what Nisargadatta, his teacher, told him, and you spoke of this
Mm-hmm.
either last time or the time
Mm-hmm.
before. Can you sort of refresh us on that little piece? His teacher was telling him something about just being, but
So Nisargadatta's teacher told him to um what was it? Can't remember the words, but basically yeah, to just rest in I am, like to just like to bring his attention to like the I am beingness, and literally don't do anything else. And he says I did that, and that's it. That's all I needed.
so all I want to do is look at Amba. It's like I want to have a giant picture on the wall and just stare at it all day. Don't take that personally. No, because I feel like I'm looking at the self, meditating on, not this form, but what's moving it and sort of what's behind that.
Yeah, and if we can just feel your, I suppose if we enjoy anything, it's just that we can feel our sense of being. Like, you know, if we're in nature or something and we're just sitting by a tree or something, like we might associate that when we sit by that tree, I feel great or something, but actually it's like just that you become aware of your own presence. And of course, like we like that because we're not in the usual like mind stories or thinking about the future or the past. You're just present. And really it doesn't have anything to do with the tree. And we could find it anywhere. We could find it through a person, a picture, anything, anything at all in the whole world. I don't know why. It's just some things trigger for us, or we give it. I feel like we give everything its meaning. Like nothing inherently has any meaning, really.
Mm.
But also within everything is your true nature, because everything is our true nature, because that's all there is. So therefore, we can find our true nature anywhere, reflected. You know, like that. Everything that we see is our nature reflected to us. So especially when we're not adding stories, that's when we can see most clearly.
Mm.
So if you're sitting by a tree or something or in nature and you go for a walk by a river, you're usually not telling any stories about it. Like and then sometimes it can happen with people. So like maybe like you don't know me, so we don't have any stories. Like probably like people who have known me for longer and they maybe know stories about my life, or maybe they've seen me doing this or that or this or that. Like so they maybe when they look at me they might see have so many stories in their head. So like they might not experience me in the same way as you might experience me. It's like mm,
I get it. Yeah, the mind as a meaning-making mechanism,
mm,
really, there's a certain clarity there.
mm,
And, to your point, Amba's the lady on YouTube reading the ribhu, although I'm sure you're very nice in person, too. I told, Hanuman and I are chatting over texting over the phone, and he's in San Francisco where the fires are
mm,
creating a lot of smoke also. And I said we've been locked up inside here for 2 weeks, and prior to that he had said that the air is clearing a little bit where he is. It's
mm,
900 miles south,
mm,
and he read into my text answer that um, if you want to talk, I'll be glad to listen.
mm,
And he's never reached out to me in quite exactly that way before,
mm,
as a friend.
yeah,
And I wrote back saying, "Oh, I wish everyone could have a Hanuman to talk to."
yeah.
It was very sweet.
Is Hanuman your like you consider him your teacher? Or,
Um, he's certainly one, and a very strong one,
mm,
um, and just a powerful stance for grace and compassion.
mm,
Um, but I think of him as one of many, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to say he's the one and mine. That doesn't
yeah,
seem to fit. Yeah,
mm.
the lineage there is a lineage that Amba's part of too. It's
Yeah, I think you told me before he was Papaji his teacher. Did you say?
yeah, just like Muji.
Yeah.
So Amba, Ananta,
Mm,
Muji, Papaji,
mm,
Ramana, Dakshinamurti,
mm,
the universe.
mm, mm.
It's just really nice to feel this open. And, I get, it's not fair or true to hang on to it, but, it's definitely, on the edge of the pond, the desires to just jump right in.
Like love just dissolves everything.
Mm.
Like I don't really feel like you really need anything else. Like all the words and pointings and all. I don't know if you really have kind of like love. Like I don't know. I feel like that's enough. Like I also feel like I was like just blessed with love for Ananta. So even though he has like so many words, like and like they're all beautiful and great, and it's wonderful that he takes the time to share the words. It's because that just love arose for him that like I was so like I don't know attracted to him or something. Like
Mm.
he just came in my life, and I just like you can't explain why love arises in your heart for someone. Like you don't know them or anything. Just, love just arises. Okay, that's good. And I feel like I feel like that itself is enough. Like it'll destroy everything
Mm.
that we don't need. And then it's like maybe it's like an extra grace then if words come from there. And of course they can be very powerful. So, you can't explain love. You can't explain love and why some beings just inspire love. And it's just like it's a gift from life.
Do you want to pick a verse? Um, it, my sense is recording momentum has slowed a bit, so if I can direct Amba back into the text and have you pick something, it might be helpful.
Well, let me see now. Did you just read? Oh, you just read that one. Did you just read verse 35?
Yeah.
That was very nice. Well, can I read it again? I'm reading that verse.
Say again. Say again.
I want to read that verse again.
35.
Yeah. No, my attention's gone there and just want to read. That in which all the world arises and dissolves, by which are revealed the various luminaries, like the shining sun, moon, fire, stars, and lightning, but which cannot be revealed by them, in awe of which the gods and demons perform their respective actions. Upon this nature of pure knowledge, the supreme Shiva, you should meditate, eschewing all transient objects of perception. I am myself the supreme Shiva, the undivided knowledge. This uninterrupted meditation is the prescribed worship. By this, and with a good mind rooted in truth, one can realize the supreme Shiva. It cannot be known in its purity by any other means. Hence, you should always meditate upon the supreme Shiva with devotion, as instructed by the Guru. Those who have not realized that I am ever Brahman, which is the substratum of all, existence, knowledge, bliss, do not cross the ocean of transmigration and reach its shore, which is the one supreme Shiva, and attain bliss. Hence, one should realize the supreme Shiva as explained. Like the word there, uninterrupted meditation. It's the same as what I mean. Like I said, unbrokenly. No, I don't think it's a word. Unbrokenly experienced. You know, like to un why I'm saying unbrokenly. I don't want to say unbreakingly. Unbroken. But the uninterrupted meditation. The uninterrupted meditation means actually like being it, experiencing it unbrokenly. I go into the same. Just like being it all the time. And it's not that we need to give ourselves a hard time if there is a break, because it seems like that's it. There's gonna be like breaks in like because we're human and our mind is badly trained. Our mind is badly trained to get distracted. So if our mind gets distracted, it's okay. It's just like we just go back to being uninterrupted. It doesn't matter if because even right now, let's say like right now, it's like it's only a memory of an interruption. Maybe some interruption. We have an idea that some interruption happened in the past, but like it doesn't matter. All that matters is like right now, now. So any moment that like we're conscious of, like literally that's all that matters. But I feel like that's like the urge is there in us. I don't know if urge is the right word, but the urge is in us to really to have that experience of uninterrupted meditation or uninterrupted beingness, uninterrupted experience that Brahman ourself is all there is. That's it. And we're not really going to be satisfied until that happens. And in a way, it's not like that if that happens, like we're satisfied because it's just like the idea of satisfaction is gone. Like for that, but until like that's there, the urge is going to be there because it's almost like I feel like it's almost like a natural origin. It's a natural urge, like the way I said Adyashanti said, like the spiritual instinct, or like I don't know, somehow for me, like the word the urge, like an urge or like yeah, spiritual urge, it's gonna be there.
This is grace. Yeah, it's and there's no one doing it.
Yeah, and then also it also says with devotion. Hence, you should always meditate upon the supreme Shiva with devotion. So, like the same as what we were saying, like that kind of love is enough. Because when you're feeling that love as well, or like devotion, it's like they, in a way, I'm saying it like as if there's two things, but like they kind of go together, but they're not really two things. So if you feel love in your heart, like that's like enough. And sometimes it can seem like it's objectified towards, it can be like an idol or a person or a place or a thing. But it doesn't really matter because that person or place or thing is the true nature anyway. Like if it inspires love in you, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be an ant. Like it really doesn't matter because it is the true nature. You can't make a mistake because that's all there is. It's more like I've always felt that it doesn't really matter who the teacher is or what the teacher is. The student is more important. Like so when it seems like there's a student and a disciple actually, or a teacher and a disciple, like I feel like the true energy or force or I don't know what's the right word to use, but like the disciple is what where the fire is, and not really so much in the teacher. Because like if there's a disciple or a student who's looking for truth and has that urge for truth in their heart, they can really, like we said, you can find it anywhere. Like you can find it listening to a Disney movie easily, especially Disney movies or kids movies. But like anywhere in the world, a true, a true. I mean, by true, I mean like that the fire of truth, I suppose, is really alive in your heart. Then the student or disciple can find it anywhere. So it doesn't matter who's like pretending to be the teacher. Because like there's no teacher really. Someone might be pretending to be, or someone might not. The disciple might be just given like an ant the role of a teacher or whatever. Mhm. and gratitude to grace in whatever form or formless way that it comes.
Mm.
Gratitude for
These bubblings up
that.
that you're speaking, I think would do well on a printed page also. I think they'd be very helpful to others. So there may be a tool out there. We can take them recording and have it turn it directly into text.
Oh, yeah, that would be magical.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's the
So
thing.
yeah, there is such a thing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go see if I can find it and maybe get a test.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have this recording in the last one?
Yeah, did I not put the last one up?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'll do it now. I'll do it now.
Yeah, either now or when you get to it,
Yeah,
it's fine.
of course. They're there and you can do whatever you want. Whatever you want with them.
Okay.
They're yours.
Right on.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.